Hi guys, and welcome to Get Your Reviews. And to this hangout about dating and relationship, how to find, your significant other, you can say. For the first time ever, I'm joined by a Bulgarian YouTuber. He's a very good buddy of mine. Please introduce yourself.
Good day, ladies and gents. My name is Helzo. I'm from DiscussThings, and I'm here by the invite of Gary G, which we you could say we kind of found out each other a few months ago, and we have been communicating ever since. She's a very nice reviewer, gamer, and a very nice person in general. I've come to like her very much as a person. And yeah, as she said, we're gonna have a little bit of talk on relationships and what to do, what not to do, and what to be.
Oh yeah, likewise. Thank you very much for the compliments and the nice words. I feel the same. So this is all awesome, and actually, I think you found me. So I'm grateful about such things.
Yeah. So okay, so what should we start with? I think this like when we have such a topic, we should start from the beginning, as in dating or like what to look in life and in your significant other.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we both done individual videos about this before. Because we both have, we are, fortunate enough to have very successful relationships, and I'm sure that we both went to, before that, some other relationship that taught us very important stuff. So it's very important to point out some of the things that people do that lead to failure, in relationships.
Yes.
So we have to discuss that because it's essential to why most relationships don't succeed. So we can start by talking about our previous experiences, and you can start if you like. So people know where we are coming from with this.
Yeah, well, my previous experience personally were uh, neighbors of mine, girls. Like one of the first ever serious relationship I had was with a girl who lived a couple of blocks down. It was so good, but with me, the problem is that I'm basically just a good person. I forgive. I allow a lot of stuff. I don't restrain anyone from doing what they want, and people take advantage of that. So, if there should be a short advice on what to do, I think that you should have your limits set on what the other person cannot do and what you cannot do. In the beginning of every relationship, I think you should set those boundaries and just be clear with the other person what you want from this experience and what they want, to have a common ground and not be unpleasantly surprised in the future.
Yeah, of course. And the most important thing, I think, is that you have to be yourself with that other person. You should never compromise your own feelings, your own, personality to be with some other person. If you don't feel yourself completely and comfortable with that person in relationship, this person, it's not for you, and it's not worth it. Because many people, and my friends are like, yeah, we had such a long relationship with this particular guy or that particular guy, and we had so many good moments, and why now this is going this way, and I can't let this happen, the relationship to end. But actually there was a lot of indications before that, like months and even a year before that, that this guy, for instance, wasn't for that person. But when you're in love, you always try to hold on to that, but it's just not worth it. I mean, people should learn how to spot everything in advance, so you won't waste years and months on somebody that's just not for you. So we have to talk about that, how to spot if the person is for you. And the first essential thing and the base of everything is, how are you feeling with this person? Do you have common things, common goals? And goals are important, because do you want this relationship to last or not? So you have to look up, into that, and of course you have to be sure that you are feeling 100% yourself with this other person, and of course, like you said, not restricting you. If you want to do something, you should be free to do that, because nobody owns the other person, but you should both, have each other's support and trust. So it's hard to find this kind of relationship, but I mean, it's the first time that you meet somebody, you have to talk about those things first, how they stand on those topics, so you can see whether or not you even have a future with each other. Because some people are, like going with a person for, going out with them like 1 year, 2 years, and the other person is like, oh yeah, did I tell you that I don't want kids? And the other person is like, oh, but I did. And I'm like, why did you not talk about this before? I mean, where have you
Yeah,
been?
yeah, those are
Yeah.
essential topics. When like those are essential topics when you feel that things are starting to become serious. So because in the first month or 2 months, you could just be fooling around, or you just been like exploring your options, like what's happening with the other person, who the other person is, getting to know each other. Uh, and one of the biggest mistakes I have found in this time period, the beginning, before things get serious, is that everyone's trying desperately to be to the other person's liking, because they like each other a lot and they want to have only a good time. But when time progresses, you start to basically show your true self instead of doing that in the beginning. And many relationships suffer from that, because no one has been completely themselves in the beginning. And from then on out, when you're already used to a person doing something, and at one point he just stops doing it because you find out that he didn't do it, or she didn't do it for herself because she does it in general, but she did for you because it was like this amount, this period of time, which you were exploring each other, you want to keep each other happy, and from then on, it can all go downhill, just like that. So one of the main thing is you're gonna fall in love with someone for their character, not because of their looks. So the people who show their character should show everything, the good and the bad. And if the person stays with you when he sees the bad, that's when you know that this thing can last.
Yeah, of course, there's a period, that you are getting to know each other, of course, of course. That could take like 2 months, 4 months. I mean, depending on how often you see each other, because, some people just have the opportunity to see each other like once or twice a week. It all depends. What period of your life is it? Is it like in your teenage years, early 20s, or whatever? So everything this is not a math, it's not an exact science, so everything can be a variable. But like I said, the constant stuff are just try to analyze how the other person is acting, and of course with time, talk to each other, have a communication, see your opinions on things, so you can view how things could progress, if of course if you hit it off very good at the beginning. So let's
Yeah,
say that.
and conversation, that communication is the key, is key to every relationship. If you don't have that, you don't have a stable relationship. And again, sometimes it happens very often, actually. Communication gets broken because one of the people starts getting, how should I say it, like really impatient with explanation, or just doesn't want to listen, which is a very, very big mistake. Because when you have a significant other, and when you want to have something stable, you need to be able to talk things out. You don't need to fight, you don't need to shout at each other. These are all unnecessary things in a relationship for me. I think everything, every disagreement, uh, everything thing that annoys a person can be talked and can be compromised uh, between each other. You don't need to like be shouting angry everything, just shouting at each other and getting into meaningless fights because of something so small, like you don't do this the way I want it to do. Simple things.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You're totally right. Conflict is the worst thing that you can have, and the ability to listen to one another is very important. And if you're such a person that thinks this way, and if the other person is the same, so that means that you're one step closer to being a match. Because you can't be with somebody that's not going to listen to you, is going to yell at you all the time and all of
Yeah.
that. So that's very important. Everything is important. Like the smallest pebble can turn, can turn the car upside down,
Yeah.
like we say here.
By the way, have you experienced a situation that, or a period of time, that every little thing that you stop seeing in the other person? I'm gonna give you um, an example. Let's say a back rub. Let's say if you're used to getting a back rub every evening, and suddenly you stop receiving it for 2 or 3 days, have you noticed how you feel inside when that happens?
Let me think about it. Uh,
It doesn't have to be a back rub, just something that you're used to getting from your significant other, something that makes you happy, and it's happening for so long that you have already, like, you cannot imagine that it won't happen.
yeah, yeah. I did have that before. Yes, and it's very. I mean, the feeling is like almost like a betrayal, because it's like things are not the same anymore, and why this thing stopped. Uh,
Yeah.
you know.
But from what I can guess, you looked for the answer, like why didn't this happen?
Oh, of course. I mean, that was, with my previous relationship, I talked about it right away, because I'm not one of those girls that are just going to sit like that and be like, oh, yeah, I'm unhappy, but I'm not going to talk about it. I'm going to tell exactly what I think is wrong, and why it's wrong, how we can fix this, and why this is happening. So I'm going to get to the bottom of it
Mm.
100%. Uh, and yeah, this is very bad. And when we talked about this, other stuff, stopped happening that were used to be happening. And I got to the bottom of it, and eventually we broke up, because that is what it happens when you're not fit for each other, and when you're trying to postpone it as much as you can, but nothing gets better.
Yeah, but the breakup, like the breakup itself, it's I don't know if I'm being normal about this, but when a breakup happens, everyone's sad, everyone's depressed, but there are people, I'm sure you've met people like that just refuse to continue to move on. They were like stuck in this one moment when they want to get everything back together, and as time passes they get more and more depressed, which in my opinion should be something that uh, doesn't happen. Like, everyone should have someone to tell them that it shouldn't be like that.
Of course, just a second, because my mom is trying to call me on the phone.
Ooh.
And I'm trying to let her know that I can't talk right now because I'm in a hangout and I'm getting distracted here. Uh,
Did you
just
have a hard time explaining what a hangout is?
no, I already talked her about this like a ton of times.
Oh, she's experienced.
Yeah, she knows very well. You know what we can do? I'm going to not pause it, because we can pause it, but I'm just going to switch my camera and mic just for a few seconds, just to tell her, because she's not in Facebook.
All right.
Yeah, I'm going to be back in like 2 seconds.
No worries. I'm here.
Okay. I'm back.
Hello.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Oh, no worries.
Okay, so I'm back in relationship mode. So what was the what? Yeah, what?
So, what I was saying is like when you break up, everyone feels depressed, everyone feels sad, obviously, like at least some part of them, and the one who didn't do the breakup, the one who was abandoned, feels it more because obviously the other person, if he made the decision, he already or she already made up her mind, and she or he is moving forward. But the one who has been left alone, sometimes I'm sure you met those people. They refuse to move forward. They refuse to even continue. They're just stuck in this moment that where they were together and they want to be back together. They want to feel what they used to feel, and they refuse to believe there's someone else out there for them.
Absolutely, yeah. Although in my case, the thing was that I should have ended the relationship like long time ago, but I was keeping things this way, talking and nothing happening, talking, nothing happening. And after that, I decided to do finally this. And although I did this, I was the one that, broke up things. I was extremely hurt. I mean, that doesn't mean that I was not. I was suffering because this didn't work. I had so much hope, into this relationship. Things were so different. I was so disappointed how they changed, and the reasons why they changed, they were ridiculous. And I was having hard time accepting the fact that I lost so much time also. So it's very hard for me. I mean, it was very hard for me. And then he started acting like, oh, I'm going to change now, I'm going to change now, and nothing happened. I mean, he only pretended and continued writing and texting me for like 2 more years until I finally blocked him because it was getting extremely ridiculous. And I'm extremely, a person that can tolerate and understand to a certain point, but that was getting too much, and so on. So yeah, but for the other people that you are talking about, uh, those are just other people, other people characters with other type of thinking. So yeah, that's another case. Everybody can deal with that in a different way. And we have the first comment for today. Hi, I'm Italian from the Animals LCCL.
Nice.
Yeah,
So this is the entire comment.
yeah.
Nice.
It so
Okay.
happens. Yeah, there were such comments. Yeah.
All right. Italian from where was it?
The Animals LCCL is
All
the
right.
name.
Hello.
Yeah. Hello, thank you for joining the hangout.
Yeah. Maybe I hope he enjoys. That's all
Yeah,
I can.
absolutely.
But you're a very patient person. That's what I found out just now. 2 years. It took you 2 years to block him. That was
Yeah.
that's amazing. I'm considered like a very patient person, but 2 years, come on, that's too much for me.
Yeah, well, I was already like, I got into my now relationship like 1 month after the breakup, which is also a surprise because I wasn't looking for anything. It just so happened. And during that time, like after a month, maybe a message will appear, from my ex. After maybe 2 months, maybe another message. So it wasn't like day after day, it was like random.
Yeah, it wasn't that constant.
Absolutely, yeah. It also very, very strange. And then I found out, from his relatives that everybody were also nagging him about that, and they're saying how much big of an idiot he is and all of that. And like, oh, they are on my side, okay.
Well, but at least he's a classical case that he knows what he had. He doesn't actually. He didn't know what he had until he lost it. Because two
Absolutely,
years,
yeah.
2 years, like I don't know many people who would try to get back with someone who broke them off for 2 years. So he finally understood, but it was too late.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
That's
And
that's
And the other thing is that I was disappointed, of myself because I made a lot of compromises for this relationship to work, and that's why I have to stress very much that if you start compromising yourself and what you like and your time, it's just not worth it. And of course, that is because other things, are the reason for that, the root, for that problems, for those problems. But that is also my point. You have to see those things and just get out of such a relationship. It just becomes like a chore and not a real thing anymore.
Yeah, and compromise should already only be done if basically the other person kind of deserves your compromise to do something that he or she likes, without you being the one who wants to do it for yourself. Because compromise generally is doing something or some things to see, generally to see the other person feel happy, because that's what they want to do. Either go somewhere, do something, write something, uh, anything. And this compromise comes with a great deal of trust, because when you open yourself like that, when you do something for the other, solely for the other person, compromise yourself to do something for them so much, you need to be certain that the other person is going to appreciate that. It's not going to take advantage of that and mistreat you afterwards.
Of course, yeah, that's the other case actually, because with this one, it was just me not being happy and compromising my principles and all of that, what I'm willing to accept or not, and we didn't have any situations like that when one of the other person wanted to go out with other people like on coffee or something else, and the other person wasn't agreeing with that. There's no such things. There were just a lot of you can say mentality type of stuff, like because he was from a village next to Sofia. You can relate to that, as a
Yeah,
the mentality there is not the same as this here.
yeah.
And his mom was like calling him, like he was just arriving here, and it takes him like 1 hour or maybe 2 hours even sometimes to get to here. And she's calling him right away, and she's like, oh, you have to come back now because
Oh
the
my god.
the cow the cow needs you.
Okay.
Literally, the farm animals a lot more important here than me. So
For his mother, probably yes, because this is how they have their, I don't know, business, or uh, that's how they live. Yeah, I
yeah.
understand what his mother wants, because my here's a funny here's a funny story. Do you know the old ways where you were, like, if you lived in the 18th century or the 19th century, you were often to be married to someone from the other village, just because of wealth and relationships. This used to be a thing here where we're from, right up
Yeah.
until the early 20, I think the early 20th century. This used to be a thing, and it's still a thing in some village areas. So my grandmother one summer decided that she would do that. She just decided on her. I used to spend my summer vacations there, and she said, "Okay, now we're off to the to the next village to meet up with a girl." And I say, "Why?" I already had a girlfriend back there. Because we want to marry you to her. And I was like, "What?
What?
Why?" And she said, "Yeah, because their families our friends, and we want to strengthen the bond." And I say, "Does my father know about this?" And she says, "No, and he won't." And I was just like, "Okay, hang on. Do I have a say in this? Like, can I say something? What do you need to say? She's a girl, you're a boy, we're gonna marry." And I was like,
What?
"What the fuck? No, I don't want to do that." And she said, "Come on, let's go." And I was like, I just called my father because I was 14. And do you know, at 14, the version of girlfriend, I know I said I have a girl. The version of girlfriend was like, "Yeah, we kissed on the lips. That's my girlfriend." Woohoo! We had a girl.
Normal?
I called up my father, and there weren't cellular phones back then, so I think he actually broke the phone with his voice because he was shouting so loud to my grandmother. What he was like, "What the hell are you trying to do, woman?"
Oh no. Hell no. Hell
Hell no!
no.
I actually end up meeting this girl, the said girl, 3 years later. She was nice, like a nice person, but only that. I'm gone. Just nice person. I didn't feel anything for her.
Hmm. Yeah, clearly. I mean, I didn't know that this was a thing. Um, I mean, even in my grandma's, generation, because my grandma is a city grandma, so she also didn't see this, didn't get to see this at all, fortunately.
Yeah,
uh,
that's
yeah, so this is just like I don't know, like a monkey business, you can say.
well. They're brought up with different ideals. Like in the case of this guy, your guy's parents, they would just they have their priorities. He needed to do some chores, like he had his chores with the animals, so that's why. But the thing is, if he could have spared the time to come to you, even for like traveling 1 hour, then at one point he really did care. Like he wanted to do that instead of his family's chores, which means that he's trying to escape. He's trying to be better.
Yeah, yeah, but there's also a lot of things, and those stuff with the animals, and the fact that he just got here and now he has to go immediately when we didn't see each other for a week or 5 days. This all like pales up, starts to build up
Yes.
along with the different other things, like his mentality changed, and all of a sudden he thought that he's some kind of a rock star in his village or something, because everybody said to him like, "Oh, you have such a great girlfriend, and this is awesome." And everybody like watched us when we were passing by, when we were walking on the streets. Everybody was like, and I'm like, "What the hell?" People,
Well, he's dating the city girl. He's big shot now. It's
something like that.
yeah, that's still a thing. Even from people from other cities, but smaller cities. This is the same thing. I have the same reputation with my girlfriend. She's from a small town, and when I go there, and I have this hairdo, like shaved from the sides. I do this black rock star, not rock star, but rock outfits because that's how I dress. And when we go to the city center, people are like, they're gonna gouge their eyes out. Look at him, though. What kind of long hair? He's a boy with long hair. What kind of travesty is this? You know, I've actually been mistaken with the girl before.
Oh, damn
Yeah.
it.
Thank you, little girl. No, thank you, little girl, for letting me pass. I was just making a way for a old lady, and she was like, "Thank you, little girl."
Oh, that's extremely funny.
Yes. So basically, there. If you're not dating someone from Sofia or from a big city or from even from one of those more modern villages, you're always gonna get this. Even after 10 or 20 years, you're still gonna get these kind of things. And probably in 30 years, you'll be the one with the older values because you don't know what's gonna happen in 30 years, what the value system will be then.
Yeah, who the hell knows? But I'm hoping that the old ways are going to die because they're just terrible and
Yeah.
destroy free will and free everything. And people still try to escape from that. I heard in some of those villages, mostly Turkish.
Yeah,
It's a big problem there.
it, it is their way of life. That's how I try to see it. Basically, you cannot force someone to change their way of life, but in the meantime, you don't have to tolerate someone imposing their way of life on you. This
Yeah, it,
is
it goes
this is the
both
line.
ways.
Yeah,
It goes both
it
ways.
goes both ways. So when you go and see other people who come from the same background with the same value system, let's say the old value system, and they live by the old value system, I tend to just leave them be. Like, okay, if you're happy like this, all right. Like with the gypsies that sell brides,
Oh,
you know that,
that's
yeah. This is their way of life. Okay, I'm not gonna comment on it, but if Bulgarians start to do it, like if we start to do it, if someone tries to marry someone I know like that, then we have a problem.
Oh yeah, then we have a huge problem. Of
Yeah,
course, we're not going to go there, to the gypsies or to whatever people and say, "Oh no, you're not supposed to be doing that. I'm going to meddle now in your business here."
yeah,
No, no, but it goes the opposite way. So,
yeah.
but I'm
It's
hoping that this all is going to change with time because civilized ways are not coming in the same speed for everybody. So
oh yeah,
that's what I mean.
and things are much better now than they were 10 years ago. I remember what was 10 years ago. No one was actually feeling comfortable expressing feelings or just being open to their relationship. Everyone was like this closed up person everywhere, even on the streets. Now it's better, but as with everything, which is with that, I want to go back to the original topic a little bit. When you have this kind of change and you're in a relationship and you move with the times, you're gonna have a little bit of difficulties adapting. It's like new technology. If you're still introduced to a new, brand new, very famous technology that everyone starts to use, that it's gonna be misused. And currently, that's the state of many of the relationships. They're changing, they're twisting, they're evolving, and some people just can't cope the best
Yeah,
way.
yeah,
I,
absolutely.
but I think we're gonna be okay. I think we are gonna adapt, like with everything.
Hopefully, yeah. Fingers crossed and everything. Okay, so let's leave the Bulgarian ways because nobody cares except
Yeah,
us.
yeah, the old Bulgarian ways. We're trying
Yeah.
to be more open world now.
Yeah, not only now, but like we said, this is only from some villages, and like I said, even my grandmother didn't see that, so didn't experience such things. So it's not, it's some region somewhere and all of
Yeah,
that.
let's leave them be.
Absolutely. So I think we are on for like almost an hour now.
Seriously? Oh my god, I didn't feel the time.
Yeah, like maybe 50 minutes. So maybe we can continue for like 20 minutes more if you like.
Of course, yes. I'm truly enjoying this.
Okay, awesome. Me too. So if you like, you can like give some kind of an example why your relationship now is working. The next thing, the next step to our conversation.
Personally, my relationship works mainly because of the things I pointed out that are important. Uh, I consider myself lucky because I hooked up with my girlfriend right after a very bad breakup, and I wasn't actually looking for anything but sheer fun. I was looking clearly for a one night stand. This one night stand turned to a 2, 3, 5, 10, 20, 50 night stands, and basically after 2 months, I was just like, all right, I guess I'm in a relationship again. All right, I like it. Like it's going pretty well. It's actually going better than before. Like with the previous relationship, uh, we had so much. We used to just lay on the bed and talk for hours to getting to know each other, which is something that I hadn't had before. Not in that extent, not that too. And we knew everything. We said everything to each other. We didn't hide any dark secrets or anything that might have hurt the other person. We set our priorities straight, we set our goals straight, and we just say whatever happens, happens. And when something happens, we're gonna deal with it when it happens. We're not gonna be afraid of what might happen, and we're not gonna be hopeful for what we can do until we know that it can happen. And that's how we actually proceeded to do stuff for a year. When the second year went on, that's when we both knew that things are actually getting a lot more serious. And we started making plans. I moved in. We started making joint groceries, joint activities, accounts everywhere. We started bonding on all levels, like a true family. And 7 years later, it's still going on. That's We still talk. We still know what the other person feels. If I'm down, she knows how to approach me, because men generally don't speak their feelings. That's not a macho thing. This is just what we do. We have a very hard time speaking about how we feel. It's just how we are. I'm no different. If someone was to ask me directly what's happening, why are you depressed, I'm not gonna be able to answer. Ooh, we have a second one.
Oh yeah.
He's from Turkey. Hello, if you're listening.
Oh yeah. Hello and welcome to this hangout. Uh, don't really understand that sentence.
I think he says Turkish here.
Uh
Like,
huh. Well, okay, if you understand.
well, not exactly, but more or less. And that's
Okay.
it. 7 years. That's how long I've been with my girlfriend, and things are just going. It's already like an everyday activity. My life is completely tangled with hers, and it's just a normal thing. The element of the unknown is already gone, but that doesn't mean it's not that exciting. It's actually more exciting, because now you can explore what you can do together. You can actually plan a future, which is something I couldn't do when I was alone. I don't know if you experience, but when you're alone, you just wing it every day.
Yeah, you feel like you're totally lost and don't know what who or whether or not you're going to find somebody that you're going to spend your life with. You're like, am I going to be alone? And what kind of a relationship it's in front of me? What's what to expect really? It's kind of very desperate feeling even.
Yes, but how long have you been with your current boyfriend?
Uh, I think 4 years now. Kind of lost count, but I think four.
So you're past the stage where you basically don't know if you'll be together for a long time, if I'm correct.
Well, the thing was that before we met each other in person, and before I got to break up with my boyfriend, with my previous boyfriend, we had like a conversations on Skype because he found me because he's also a Xena fan, Xena Warrior Princess fan. So he was like going to look for things, all things Xena, on the internet, and I was doing that too in that time, and we kind of found each other in some kind of a TV site, about TV schedules.
Yeah, yeah.
Not even in a dating site. It was just about TV. And I'm like, oh, Xena fan, awesome. So I invited him to my forum because I hosted the Xena War Princess forum. And he came, and I thought that he had very interesting thoughts about Xena. So I invited him to, join Skype and talk in Skype. So we did that, and it was very, very awesome. And after I broke up with my boyfriend, we decided to see each other 1 month, after that, like I said, and we clicked like immediately. And all the tastes that we had, I mean, music, movies, and Zina, of course, and how we thought about everything, life, and belief systems, everything matched like perfectly. I didn't have to explain a lot of how I'm feeling. He was like all feelings and all happiness and smile and everything. And I'm like, wow, that guy sure smiles a lot for some reason. Yeah, when he saw me the first time, he was like, all the time, all the time. And I'm like, are you okay or something? Because he was like, all the
He
time.
was basically getting high on you.
Yeah, yeah, literally, like he was like high or something. And yeah, to this day, we are the same with each other. Nothing changed, uh, except that we are living with each other for maybe like 2 years now or three almost.
You lost
Yeah.
count,
I lost count again.
which
I,
is actually good. When you lost count of the time in this particular topic, it means that it has been a long time, and it has been so long, and it was so completing, like it completed your life so much that your mind is just telling it's been so long that I actually have only fuzzy memories of what was before that.
yeah, absolutely. Like, when you spend time with somebody and it's a good time, time flies. Like
Yes.
time flies. And when you're with somebody that it's a torture and a chore to be with, like time just doesn't fly, just stood still, and you're feeling emotionally exhausted and all of those negative emotions.
And you count every
And
day.
yeah, and you're wondering where things are going to get better, and are they? But most times, and all the times, actually, they will not get better. No, so you better get out while you
Yeah.
can. And yeah, and so on. So everybody, the host, actually, that old saying that the opposites attract, but I'm always like, no, opposite does not attract. Opposites attract like for one night or something, but not for a full relationship. And it's not boring, because some people think that there's going to be like a ton of boredom if all the things that you like are matched, all the things that you think are synced, and all of that. But no, it's not boring, because you can go and do whatever you like all the time, and do the things that you love, that you both love, and you don't have to make those compromises, actually, because um, it's just, you are like one. And when it comes to me, because that's the only kind of difference like between us, that I'm a very social person. I go out and meet other people. Sometimes I know a lot of other boys, like half my friends are boys, half my friends are girls, and I can go and meet them on coffee, like alone, one-on-one with other guy. And I can even go to movies with other guy that's my friend. And my boyfriend will not have anything against that. Like, of course, yeah, you can go, no problem. I mean, we have like perfect trust, and that's super rare. Like, that's extremely rare, also.
Yeah, what you have is basically what everyone is trying to achieve. The relationship that you just explained is probably one of the best types of relationships, because there's so much jealousy, so much restraint. Just because I kind of understand jealousy and restraint, because if you love someone so much that you don't want to lose them at any cost, you often do what the one thing: you restrain them. You don't. You start calling them all the time. You start checking on them. You just want to make sure that they're all right, that they're not with someone else, that they're safe. And it just transforms into this obsessive, compulsive
Behavior.
behavior that just it hurts the other person. So this is a hard thing to restrain, because I used to be like that. I, Before, I used to, when I get paranoid or I get some signals that something's not right, my mind would just go blank, and I was just going to be so obsessive. And it's a hard thing to basically overcome. But if you manage to, you come out as a better person. And your boyfriend currently letting you go with other boys, this is a big achievement by itself, because it means he trusts you, and it's a big form of trust. It's not just like, yeah, I trust you to not mess up with this grocery list. It's a trust, yeah, I trust you that you will come back to me, which is the biggest kind of trust there is.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's why I said it's super rare because when you're with me, you have to understand that social aspect of what I'm doing, uh, and all of that. So it's just yeah, and I'm different kind of a person. I'm not this kind of a person that will have any any desire to cheat in any way, and he's exactly the same. I mean, sometimes when we watch like a TV show and like the Vampire Diaries or something, and I'm like, oh, look at this actress, she's so beautiful, she's so amazing. I'm like, I can look at her all day. I mean, she's so cool. Like I'm geeking out about this actress, and he's like, ah, I don't find her that beautiful, and I'm like, why she's super beautiful. Trying to convince him that she's super awesome. I'm like, how can you not see that? And he's like, nah, I don't care.
Which was the actress? Nina Dobrev?
No, not Nina Dobrev. Damn it, I forgot her name. She just died. Spoiler alert.
Uh, not
That
Carrie.
witch. She was a witch.
Bonnie?
Not Bonnie. The other witch. Davina.
Oh, Davina Claire. Oh, but that's from the originals.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Davina Claire. But yeah, okay,
Forgot.
they're intertwined. So yeah,
Yeah,
Davina Claire was a favorite.
yeah, because I watched both things and they kind of blurred into my mind.
Yeah, but the originals is, my opinion, is a little bit more mature.
Yeah, I like it more than the Vampire Diaries. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
that's another topic for us to talk in the future.
oh, I love those two. I love those two series. First, when the Vampire Diaries first appeared, I thought, oh yeah, this was going to be the Twilight movie series, and it wasn't. It was actually pretty awesome.
And different.
Yeah, and different. Like because True Blood was a thing at the time. It didn't. Then it was like on season 4, and he stole everything with the nudity, the violence, the blood, everything. And then the Vampire Diaries. Bless you.
I know I drank water and got
Yeah.
into my other.
And when the Vampire Diaries just appeared, it stole a lot of the audience as well because it was a little bit more thoughtful. It was a little bit more intelligent than True Blood. So basically, I started watching both, and I started actually watching the Vampire Diaries more, and then the originals. Just the first appearance of Elijah, I remember it in season 3, I think. The first appearance of this beautiful person.
Oh yeah.
All right, I'm addicted to the show.
Yeah, he's so charismatic.
Yeah, he's and
Klaus.
Niklaus and his brothers and everyone is Freya, amazing.
Oh yeah, she's
Do you
so
know
cool.
the actors? Have you watched The Newsroom? It's a movie that showcases a TV studio, like a news studio.
I've watched a part of it that was in Facebook, I think, and she was there. She
Yeah,
was
in the audience,
yeah
asking a question, and the
about
main actor.
America. Yeah.
Yeah, but this is the same clip. Was the one that actually hooked me up to the movie, and the main actor, I don't remember his name. He's from Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah, I
With
know
Jim
him.
Carrey. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's amazing in this movie. He's just I would never have expected to see him in this kind of role. And the series themselves are so well made. Yeah, it's a recommendation, by the way. If you don't have anything to watch, if you want to have something to watch, this is it.
Okay, yeah, I'm going to check it out as soon as I have time. Yeah, good idea. This is summertime, so there's almost nothing to watch now. All the
Yeah.
TV shows are on break, and I watch only Young and Hungry, and that's just a 20-minute funny show. Yeah, it's very funny, but it's just 20 minutes. I'm like, where's the second episode? Where's the next thing? I want to watch like 2 hours of that.
Yeah, 20 minutes are not enough for a good show, but movies are coming along.
Oh yeah, can't wait for everything basically. And actually, Ghostbusters my next video is going to be Ghostbusters. I'm going to rant on that.
Did you watch it?
When you if you check, the movies coming out at the end of the month, so we here are totally screwed. So yeah, no, can't watch it.
I won't. When I reviewed the trailers, I said that I was gonna watch it purely to see how bad it is, but then I got so pissed off at the movie, like, because I do love the original Ghostbusters so much, and I'm still actually debating myself whether or not I should watch it and I should review it, but I'm currently weighing a little bit to the side of just fuck it, not gonna waste my time, even though I should review bad movies as well as good. But on the other hand, I think that I have too much things to do to waste time on this, to waste 2 hours of my life watching a movie that I know is gonna be bad.
Okay, so you best not watch my video then. That's
No,
coming.
I'm probably gonna watch your rant because I already watched a review on Jeremy.
Jeremy Jones.
I think yes, he's the one with the red background.
The
I
same.
don't remember. I don't remember the names. And he said that it's actually better than the trailers, which is kind of, for him to say that, it's a little bit strange, but we'll see.
Yeah, it has a high score on Rotten Tomatoes. If I don't count that, but some people do. So yeah, but my stand on this is just that I don't watch much old movies, and I didn't get the old ones. Didn't find anything logical about them, so basically didn't enjoy them. Especially the second movie. I did enjoy a bit like the first one, but the second one like at all. And since I love all those actresses, and I watched them in Saturday Night Live, and I super, love them since then. I'm very excited about the new movie. I have nothing against, the new take on that, because I never was, a fan of the first things. Anyways,
Yeah, this is basically new fans versus old fans.
something like that. Yeah. So I just can't wait to see it, and so I can know really, really if I enjoy it as a movie, not as a Ghostbusters, Ghostbusters movie, just but by itself, whether or not
Yeah.
I enjoy it.
Well, I hope it's better than what it shows, and I hope Rotten Tomatoes are right this time, because Rotten Tomatoes gave Warcraft a very low score, but they forgot to include that this is basically a movie for fans. It's not a movie for someone who doesn't know what the, like, the games, the lore. It doesn't know
Yeah.
anything because it
So
was a rushed movie.
absolutely. Although I almost don't know anything about Warcraft, because I don't play strategy type of games or MMOs like Warcraft, but I did enjoy the movie amazingly much, and I just loved it. So everybody has
As
different
someone who
views.
knows the lore, I'm going to say this: like, every 2 minutes, like, every single scene was almost directly taken from the lore. Everything, like, it was basically as you're reading a book and you see the images in front of you coming to life. This is how well the movie was made.
Wow, so for you it was even more amazing than to me.
For me, the movie was I can't. It was like fireworks going off inside of me every 10 seconds. It was
Awesome.
everything. Everything was amazing. Every part of this movie was amazing.
Jeez, I hope I feel the same when I see the Xena reboot that's coming.
Yeah, I see you talking about that a lot. I didn't watch. Sorry, I didn't watch Xena. I was a Hercules fan when it aired back then, and Xena aired right after that, but I didn't watch it. But I see you reviewing a lot of it, and I'm starting to get interested. I probably should watch some of it.
Oh, please do.
All right, I
Please
will.
do. Yeah, because Xena was just they just wanted to find like a very badass enemy to Hercules. that he's going to present a challenge to him, and they invented Xena, and it turns out that people liked her so much because there are like 3 episodes of Xena that are called Xena Trilogy in the first season of Hercules. And after those 3 episodes, it was so successful, the reaction, towards the character, that they just decided to make her own series. And eventually, those series, surpassed Hercules by ratings and number of episodes, not number of seasons, just because they are both, with 6 seasons, but Hercules is just 13 episodes the last season. So Xena was the full 22 or 23, and so on. So Xena kind of explores the more serious warrior stuff, and you can see Hercules there as well in some of the episodes. So you probably missed Hercules at least 2 times, because I just love when they intertwined, and when Hercules comes to visit or when Xena comes to visit. Because after that, of course, in Hercules, Xena also is in other episodes that are not connected to the trilogy. And it's just amazing when they're both on the screen. I'm like, yay! Yeah, so you just have to do that. I mean, you just have to check that out.
Well, as you said, it's summertime. We don't have a lot to do or a lot to watch, so why not?
Yeah, but if you forget, of course, I advise you to watch that Xena trilogy, because the first episode of Xena kind of picks off where that trilogy left off. So it's very, very important.
I see. So first the trilogy and then the series.
Yeah, and if you need help with that, I can point you with to the exact names of the episodes, so you cannot be, wasting time with looking.
All right. If I have any difficulties, I'll definitely write you.
Okay, awesome. So let's try to wrap this up. I mean, with the relationship topics, with something, to finish this. We can't cover everything, of course, but at least something that's important to say.
All right. What do you say? I give advice for the girls as a man that has a relationship with girls, and you give one to the guys.
I agree.
All right. Who's first?
You.
All right. So girls, my advice to you is to be a little bit more patient when trying to get information from a person, from a man. We are a little bit closed off towards that. So do be patient and do approach us delicately and show us that we can trust you with this information. If you succeed with that, you have us completely open and you won't have any troubles.
That's very, very, very good advice. Although I do think that everybody is different, so some guys are different, you know, different to
Yeah,
crack, and some just don't need so much convincing or effort. But yeah, this is of course super awesome to say, and I'm just going to advise you, girls. That you have to be with somebody that respects you, that accepts that you have to go somewhere, that's not possessive of you in any shape or form, and if you can agree on the big things, you have to try to agree on those. If you can't, this person is probably not for you, and just don't waste both of your time. Everything in a relationship should be equal, and should be, if you're giving this much love to somebody, you should receive this much love from the opposite end. It's just not fair if the relationship is like this. It just, you're not a match. You have to be, equal, a match, and not the other one. I mean, the girl to try to control the boy, or the opposite. No one should try to control the other. Everybody should respect. I mean, both parties should must actually respect each other and love each other, and approach everything with love and not with conflict. If you want this to succeed, and of course, after the first months like pass by, you try, to get to know each other as much as possible. Look out for signs whether or not this person, I mean, the guy, is respecting you with his behavior. Uh, because some guys, by the way, they do act differently when they're amongst other guys. When you are like on coffee somewhere, and the girl is sitting right next to her boyfriend tries to act differently towards her. It's like she's not there or something like that. And even I see some cases that the guy doesn't even want to sit next to his girlfriend because like he's too proud of a man or something. So like there's so many different cases, like it's going to blow your mind and our own minds if you have to discuss but just watch out for signals. You have to feel the respect and the love, and you have to give the respect and the love. So no controlling and or anything, and be patient, but don't be like everything sacrifice, sacrificing all the time. You have to see the same effort from the other side, and if the relationship requires too much effort, again, maybe you're not for each other. So think about it and don't be like, yeah, but if I'm going to, leave this relationship that I'm not currently very happy in, I'm not going to find anyone else. So if you think this way, you'll never find anyone ever. So just risk it, be single and try to find, your significant other, your real match, because like, me, and my friend here, we didn't even look for our other halves. We end up our previous relationships and it was very hard, but like fate brought us together with our other halves. So things just happen when you don't expect them, and is such in such a way that you can never really predict or imagine. So just give it a go and don't be afraid to live a very bad relationship so you can look for something else, and don't say like, yeah, every man is the same, because they're not. Like every girl is not the same, every man is not the same, and they're not all the same. And if you think like that, you will never find anyone. So just don't sabotage yourself. Be brave and go out there. Be careful, but go out there and just look and just see what happens.
Sweet. That's all I can say about that.
Okay, thank you very much, guys, for watching. Thank you to my friends here, and I hope that we can do more of these hangouts in the future. And check his channels. I'm going to link his channel into the description of the video, so you can check him out and maybe subscribe even if you like his content. So thank you, guys, and thank you.
Thank you very much, Gary, for having me. I hope we have a lot of hangouts together as well. And if you need anything, if you need a collab as well, I'll be there for you. Thanks.
Thank you. Same here. So thank you, and until next time.
Cheers.
Cheers.